Limestone County Sports. I'm your host, Greg Wise, and this is
JV.
JV in the show today. We're seeing a lot of good football this past Friday night, or even Thursday night into the weekend. Jay, and got a lot to talk about. At the end of the show, we'll get to our team of the week. And should be a good show. We'll try to keep it a little shorter than we did last week. Obviously, it was the first show of the football season, and we were very excited. And so looking forward to jumping in some game results and the upcoming games this week.
Now, before the game started Friday, did y'all get any rain in Ardmore?
Man, not before the game. Early in the first half, it came a little shower, but it wasn't much. Like even after the game, like nobody was soaking wet or anything. It was just a little bit of rain. Now I think at Athens it come flood.
Well, about 5:30 before I got ready to leave and go to Clements, the bottom fell out. Mm-hmm. Get to Clements, dry, sun shining.
Yeah.
So after the game, we heard that at Athens it just come a teetotal frog strangler.
Yeah.
And the guys, after Athens won the game, they were doing like a slip and slide on the turf out there.
Well, great. Yeah, they got turf, so I guess that doesn't affect whether they can play. Now, it's football. You play in that stuff as long as it's not lightning. But their field conditions probably stay pretty similar. It might be a little slicker, but nonetheless. Everybody got their games in. Speaking of Athens, we'll jump into that one first. Athens had May Jemison at home. They won that ball game. Final score was 32-7. I think they were a pretty big favorite in that game. Yeah. We both picked them to win and win big, and they did. Know anything about the details, Jay?
Well, I know Athens got two safeties in one quarter.
Really? That's great.
Snapped over the head of the quarterback, and then I think it was a second end zone, I think. But
had a pretty good start there.
And I think they missed the extra point, too. I ain't for
Athens
sure.
did? Or
yeah, Athens did. So, But
well, you got four on safety, so that made up for it.
I asked Coach Gross on our show Saturday if he had ever been in a game. He said he can't remember a game ever having coaching two safeties in one quarter or one half.
That's how. Speaking of safeties, Ardmore had one in theirs as well. We'll talk about that when we get down to that game. But pretty cool stuff for the defensive unit there at Athens, shutting out May Jemison. May Jemison only put 7 points up, and then the Athens offense still rolling along without Mr. Gross, and so seem to be continuing what they've been doing for the last decade.
And Grady Sullivan was the quarterback, and I think Grady played well, they said, and running game as well for Xavier for Athens, and Clarence Jones had a great defensive game, tackles-wise and stuff. So congratulations, Coach Gross, and win number one of the new season. Yep,
still rolling. Athens, will head to Buckhorn over in Madison County to play this Friday night. Buckhorn last Friday beat Decatur at Decatur 27-12. And is Buckhorn in their region? I think is that a region game? Give me 5 seconds and I can tell you. I know Buckhorn is 6A, and so I would assume that would be.
Oh, you would think it would be.
Yeah, I hope so. If I can read, I'm going to have to put my glasses on, Jay, so I can see. Here we go.
Makes you look smarter.
Well, I don't know if that's true. That's why I keep this beard, because it has so much gray in it, and that offers wisdom. It is not a region game. Now, Buckhorn is 6A, Buckhorn in a different region than Athens. Athens does not get to region play until the next week when they play Coleman. So, again, just one of those out-of-region games to get you practice in and stuff ready for when region play, the games that can't get there. They have Athens favored in this contest by 3 points at Buckhorn. Again, Buckhorn just beat Decatur 27-12. Athens beat May Jemison 32-7. What are you feeling on that, Jay?
I'm going to go with the Golden Eagles.
I believe the Golden Eagles will cover the 3 points, and I would probably put that spread around 7-10. I think Athens will be the better opponent in that contest. We shall see. Moving on to game number 2, Westminster came over to East Limestone, and I was watching the scores on the Score Stream app. That's what I usually keep up with scores with during games while I'm at a game. I'm usually recording and doing stuff, and so I can't really check them till halftime.
Now, speaking of that app, do they have certain people at each school that updates that? How does it work?
No, anybody can do it.
Okay.
Like I can update any game that I'm at, and so you just start clicking on there, and you can update scores from anywhere. You can post videos and pictures.
Because that's who we go by when we update our hat, and some of them are just later.
Yeah, sometimes, like in the East game, it was updating pretty regular to about the third quarter, and then somebody quit doing it, and you seen the final about an hour later or something, and so. If you're out there and you're at games, if you will download the Score Stream app, you can update any games anytime you want to. Now, I'm sure some people get on there and prank people from time to time, but I think everybody at some point will get those corrected. And you can upload videos, pictures, all to that Score Stream out and let anybody who's on there see those. And so anyway, we were watching that game, pretty tight game. I think it was East was up at the half.
21-7.
Yeah, 21-7 at the half. Final for that game was Westminster 49, East 34. So a lot of points. I was curious, wonder if those two offenses are that potent, or just struggling on the defensive side. You got any insight?
Only thing I know is that East got 2 kids hurt, and they had another young man get ejected for throwing a punch.
That's not good. The injuries significant?
That I don't know.
Yeah.
That I don't know.
Hopefully not. But, yeah, East well in that game, up 21-7 at half. One of their assistant coaches goes to church here, spoke with him on kind of the way out, and that's kind of was my question was, hey, you guys were in this game for a long time, kind of what happened. I think they had a punt returned against them for a touchdown, and then Westminster came out and held them to a 3-and-out and then scored again. And so I think it just kind of got out of hand from there. But, yeah, a lot of points. If you're an offensive guru or love those offensive games, that was the one to be at. So a lot of firepower on both sides of the field. Looked like just from – you got to be cautious on stats. There's some Huddle has some stats you can see occasionally. Max Preps will have a few stats. There's a few other locations you can find stats. If anybody has a place you could find legitimate stats pretty regularly, please comment and let us know where to find those, because that would be great if we could, boast about some of these kids a little bit from time to time. But it looked like the East quarterback, Parham, I think, had a pretty good day. Yeah. Had 5 touchdowns, I think, through the air.
He got hurt, too.
Really?
Yeah. And so they had to go to their backup, but I don't know. He may have been one of the injuries, so I don't know the significance of it.
Okay, I was going to say hopefully not too significant for that team, because it looks like he was putting up some pretty good numbers in that game. Moving on to this week, they have Hazel Green, which is 6A, coming in. Hazel Green, a team that's going to be very similar to East Limestone as far as athletes and whatnot. Hazel Green won that game last year, but Hazel Green got smoked Friday night by Huntsville 43-6. Now Huntsville is 7A, Hazel Green is 6A, East Limestone's 5A. Spread on that game is Hazel Green by 5, and it's at East. What do you think about that, JV?
Well, I'm gonna stick with the Indians.
Same. Hopefully those injuries not significant.
Yeah.
And maybe they'll keep putting up the points, lighting up the scoreboard, and just you don't have a lot to go on early in the season. Hazel Green again went to Huntsville, who is 7A, and got smoked 43-6. So I'm leaning on the side of the Indians as well. Hopefully they'll get it done and get back in the win column, because the next week after that, I think they possibly go to Russellville. There it is right there. Let me see. They have
I think
to
East is
go
a week
to
off,
Russellville.
right?
Oh, they got a bye week that early?
I think so.
You may be
right?
correct. Let's look. Yes, they have a bye week. Then they go to Russellville.
Yes.
So that would help them out injury-wise. Hopefully they get back in the win column, have a week off, because going to Russellville is always uphill battle.
We know that trip very well, don't we?
Yes, sir. Not very fond of it. But anyway, Ardmore doesn't have to make that trip. We do have to go to Fairview, West Point, and Lawrence County. That's the trade-off.
Yeah.
We don't have to go to Russellville this year, which is the furthest we go, an hour and a half, 3-hour round trip. But we do have to go to Fairview. Do have to go to West Point, both of those down in Coleman County and Lawrence County, which is only about 15 minutes shy of Russellville. And so anyway. All right, yeah, I like the Indians on that. Moving on, Elkmont played Thursday night over at Joe Davis Stadium.
Yes.
Jay and I had talked about trying to get over there and possibly live streaming that game, thanks to Coach Shrink. He sent me some rosters for both of those teams in case we were able to get over there. But we were having some trouble painting the field at Ardmore Thursday morning because it came a flood the night before, so we got started a little late. I texted Jay early around noon. I said, hey, man, I don't think we're going to be able to make it to South Huntsville tonight. And Jay said, well, good, because they wear me out over here at work too.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, didn't get to make it, but another one of those high-powered, potentially high-powered offenses, putting a lot of points on the board, much like that East game, if you like those high-scoring games. JP2 did get the win, 62-27. That game was pretty tight for about maybe 2.5 quarters, 3 quarters. I was watching on that score stream app and kind of back and forth. JP2 seemed to have the upper hand most of the game. They were up by at least 1 score, and then I assume late in the game it just kind of got away from the Red Devils. Red Devils have to go to Lexington.
Golden Bear country.
Yeah, we were just talking about Lexington. How is it that Lexington, a 3A football program, or no, they're 2A, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
2A program out in the middle of absolutely nowhere, continues to have such a great football tradition.
Yeah, they always have a good tradition.
Yeah, and that even goes back to when Coach Snyder, the elder Coach Snyder, Billy Snyder, they honored him over there last year. I think he has more wins than any coach in school history. They just honored some other coach, I think, over there in the last week or two for some things as well. They just continue to produce athletes, I assume. Yeah. And so even at 2A, Lexington was facing 3A county rival, Lauderdale County this past Friday night. And Lauderdale County did win that game 26-19. But that was one of those high school rivalry games you'd love to be at. Probably the stadium was packed, tight game. Been a fun night to be at.
And they said Lauderdale County had like 3 turnovers that led to scores for Lexington. So
turnovers kept Lexington in the game. Lexington is favored in that contest with the Red Devils by 11 points, Jay. Will Lexington cover the 11?
I think so.
I think so too. Unfortunately, again, we've already discussed that's my alma mater. But hopefully, Coach Frank's got something up his sleeve, and they can go over to, like you said, Golden Bear country and get after it. Wonder if that was one of their Golden Bears running through Athens about a month ago.
May have been.
Well, I was going to say, is
one in our neighborhood?
Is a golden bear actually golden, or is it like a black bear, but they just call it golden? Like a golden eagle.
Yeah.
Can we just put golden in front of any mascot, like the Golden Indians,
and then there was
the Golden Tigers?
Because I remember East Limestone used to play Holy Family in basketball. They were the Golden Tornadoes.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So I guess if you put golden in front of it, you're supposed to be. Hey, let's start making teams like the Platinum Tigers.
There you go.
Will be the Platinum Red Devils or the Platinum Rattlers.
There you go.
Because I would assume that would be higher than golden. I don't know. Random stuff we talk about. Moving on. The game that I was at, we've already mentioned a little bit about that. Tanner was down at Ardmore. Tanner being 2A, smallest school that we cover at one of the larger schools that we cover, Ardmore High School. Ardmore did win that game 44-6. I will say this, Jay, the Tanner team that came to Ardmore Friday night, much improved off the Tanner team that came last year. Matt, had those guys now for going on year 2, and, getting them in the weight room, play calls, all kinds of those things. You could see that they're heading in the right direction. Got some playmakers down there. The Matthew Fletcher kid can go. Got a pretty good running back, Pryor, I think is his last name. He was putting in some work, especially late in the second half. I think he might have had about 70 yards or so. And so they got a few playmakers, and looked like they were dressing a few more kids than they have previous years. So heading in the right direction. Again, much improved over last year. But Ardmore, obviously, Tanner's probably dressing – 28, 30 kids. Ardmore's dressing 65, 70 kids.
And I know we talked to Matt Saturday morning on the show, and he said that his quarterback and another kid, the quarterback got a high ankle sprain.
Yeah.
And then one of his kids got a hip pointer, I think. So they're going to be out maybe a couple weeks.
Yeah. I think if you're talking about the Dempsey kid, I think, he did start, and then we never seen him again. But, there wasn't like an on-field injury that stopped play or anything. So we were unaware that there was an injury there. So that makes a lot of sense. We mentioned earlier about Athens getting 2 safeties. Ardmore was up 9-0 before Ardmore's offense ever touched the field. Tanner won the toss, chose to defer to the second half. They kicked off. We run the opening kickoff all the way back for a touchdown. No surprise to anybody. That was Noah Stafford, big time receiver. He had another receiving touchdown. So I think he had 2 touchdowns. He probably had 50, 60 yards receiving. I think that kickoff return was about 85 yards. And then Ardmore pretty much almost it was a 3 and out, but it was a 3 and a safety. And then so they were up 9-0 real quick out the gate, and then just kind of run away with it later in the game. Tanner this week has to go to Colbert County, and big time football program down there as well, like we were talking about with Lexington, but obviously over in Colbert County. Colbert County is favored by 19 points, Jay.
I'm going to take the Indians because their coach now, both former Tanner coach, Oscar Bonds.
Really?
Yes.
Did not know that. That's awesome. So I'm sure, Oscar will be, even though you love the places that you coached at and love the kids and the communities and stuff, there's always something about, I want to smoke these folks.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. But, 19 points, that's going to be a big point spread to overcome for the Rattlers. I think you're correct on that prediction as well, Jay. And getting down to Clements, we'll talk a little bit more about Clements in the last game we cover here this week. But Clements will be going to Ardmore this week. Ardmore is favored by 26 in that contest last year, and I think me and Brick had talked about it a little bit when he was on the show a few weeks ago. Clements played Ardmore probably a tougher half of football than any team that Ardmore faced all year last year. If I'm not mistaken, I think Ardmore went in the half up only 7-0.
Yes.
I do know the final on that game was 29-0, and so Brick had them rolling in. Obviously, they are now learning how to finish those games, so we'll talk a little bit more about that here in just a second. But just Ardmore favored by 26. Are they going to cover the 26, Jay?
I don't think so.
You're taking Clements and the 26 points.
Yes.
I feel your heart in that prediction.
If I see the heart I saw Friday night, I think so.
Well, we're going to get to that here in just a second, but I'm going to take Ardmore to cover those 26. And let's just go ahead and move on to the last game on our docket this Friday. West was at Clements.
Yes.
West came in as a 14-point favorite. When was the last time Clements has beat East? Do you have those?
Clements beat time Clements beat West was in 2008 under Coach Barry Daniel, who is now assistant with Coach Oscar Bonds at Colbert County.
So 2008, so about 17 years.
Barry he retired from the state and went to Loretta High School in Tennessee to coach, and I think he couldn't get much help up there to help out, so he wanted to get back into coaching, so he moved back to the state and helping Coach Bonds out at Colbert County.
Well, that's awesome. And who would have known that it has been 17 years? And just going back, yes, you are correct. That would have been 2008. Clements, guess what the score was?
21-14.
Well, it was 21. It might have been it. It's 21-13 on the website.
Okay.
We use ahsfhs.org. But yeah, they had a good run back in those days. Clements had a 5-game winning streak, broken in 2009 by West, and West has won every game since then. So 17 years. Clements finally puts that rivalry, and it is a rivalry.
Yeah.
Some people would say it's not because it's been 17 years since Clements has won. But Clements back on top of the Wildcats by a score of 21-14.
It was a great crowd there Friday night.
Yeah. Well, that's, again, we've talked about those county rivalry games. That's one of those, they're pretty close in size. Clements is 3A, West is a little bigger at 4A, but they can still compete against each other.
Yeah.
And I went back the next morning and got to watch the replay on the NFHS network, which if you have the opportunity to do so, I would encourage you to do that. They had a nice little live stream going on. There wasn't any commentary or anything. Yeah. It was just the game, had the scoreboard down in the corner. And they had the yellow line on the field where the first down marker was. I'm assuming that's some AI stuff that runs through that network.
I think it's due to new coach Brad Durham, who went to West, is helping Brick out now. I think he was up there in the press box with the computer and stuff, so I think that was him doing all that.
Awesome. Well, I was wondering if that was just some automatic AI, because they were showing replays on almost every play, not every one of them, and then the yellow line for the first downs. And, man, especially during the daylight, the camera was clear, had it clicking. I was like, man, all they need is JV up in there with somebody else doing the commentary on this, and they would be off and running.
Well, I was up in there, but it's a tight.
Yeah.
Even former coach Chip Hutchinson was in the booth up there with Jason and Tony Tony Turner.
Yeah.
And Tony runs the scoreboard, so. They were in there, and but Brad does all that, I think, because they've had NFHS cameras, but it just hadn't been that updated. So,
that's what me and I was sending a text to some other guys to check out the camera work, because I could tell the camera work was AI stuff, because it's just kind of swinging back and forth wherever the play action is going, and most of the time it was focused on the ball and where the play looked good, and then they throw that yellow line up there, and I was like, oh no, they didn't. Man, they're getting high tech up here with all this AI and NFHS network and all that stuff. If they would just throw a headset on some dudes, some homers. Throw a headset on two homers up here in this press box, and you got high-level entertainment.
Like Brian O'Donnell and Heath Haney.
Yeah. If you get you some good redneck homers, and it's high-level entertainment. Clements, I got to go back and watch that game. Clements scored on the opening drive and was up 6-0. Of course, I'm fast-forwarding through a lot of stuff. Did they miss the extra point or go for two?
Well, they went for two.
Didn't get it. They were up 6-0. West puts a couple scores on the Colts. It was up 14-6 late in the game. Clements did not score again till I think less than 5 minutes in the game.
Yes.
They go for two, get it, tie the game up 14-14.
Did you see the hit on the kickoff?
Did not.
Oh, man. You got to go back and see that.
I will.
When they tied it up, Clements kicks off, and kid was coming around the end, and one of their guys on this end come around and just had him head up. If he was running any faster, he knocked his helmet off.
Wow. So, clean hit, though.
Yeah.
Clean football play. Y'all had to go back and check that out. Clements kicks off, holds West to a 3-and-out, and then Clements gets the ball back. Brick Pugh calls a heck of a play, the pass play. He had mentioned, I think it might have been an interview in the News Courier or something, that the The defender bit on the short route. They go with the deep ball, kind of across the middle, deep post or deep slant. Kid gets it. He's off to the races. Whatever kid that is got some wheels.
Davin Holloway.
Holloway's got some wheels. Kid could go, pulls away from everybody, gets a cramp about the 30-yard line, and he's hobbling down, and they finally catch up with him at about the 10.
He must have been cramping some because there was two chances of deep balls that Brady Turner threw to him that he was wide open. I guess the cramps was bothering him because he would have had easy 2 touchdowns just like that.
Yeah. Well, he gets down to the 10. Clements punches it in, 21-14. That was with less than a minute to go. West has a little bit of life left. They return a kickoff back to about the 40, 35-yard line of the Colts. Get down to maybe the 15, and then they have one pass play at the end of the game with just a couple of seconds left. They do not convert, and the Colts hold on to beat West Limestone. And the Clements Colts are the Limestone County Sports Team of the Week.
Boy, I never seen such a more jubilant locker room after the game because it was just like the weight of the world that lifted off their shoulders.
Yeah.
Well, they got their first win last year. Brick did it against Tanner, but this was one they were looking forward to a while.
And you could hear on the live stream, crowd was in it, fired up the whole time.
And Brady's dad, Tony, which runs the scoreboard, he forgot to turn it off after everybody that left home. He didn't left it on up in the press spot.
The scoreboard?
Yeah.
I left it on all night. Leave it on all night.
So we were getting ready to leave, and Brick goes, somebody left the scoreboard on. So I think it was Tony. He probably forgot.
No, he did on purpose. Just let everybody know. You know, when you go to opposing, like rivals' fields, and you beat them, they turn that scoreboard off like 5 seconds after the game is over. So if you're at home and you win one of those games, leave that sucker on all night. Somebody will pay that electric bill.
Oh, yeah.
Nonetheless, Clements is the team of the week. Very proud of those guys. Very proud of Brick. You know, Brick got saved recently and baptized here at the church. So the Lord's blessing, man.
Yes, sir.
And glad to see Glad to see him down there leading the Colts in a positive direction. Again, we talked about Clements goes to Ardmore this week. Jay says the Colts are going to cover the 26 spread or keep it within 26. I think the Tigers will cover the 26. West Limestone goes to East Lawrence this week, and that is a region game for them. You know, they're in that big 8-team region, so they've got is it 8 or 9?
I think it's 8.
Yeah. So they got a lot of region games, and that region play starts this week at East Lawrence. East Lawrence came off a big win last week, JV. Who'd they play?
They played Lawrence County.
Lawrence County, who is 5A. East Lawrence, 4A. And they beat Lawrence County.
It was close, wasn't it? Like 7-6? Or...
Yeah, we could probably find that score. It was, I believe it was a tight game. Let's see if we can find it real quick.
And they're just like miles apart.
Yeah, they beat Lawrence County 14-6.
Okay.
And so Lawrence County's traditionally in the last few years had a pretty good football program. Went to the playoffs last year. I think they were the 4 seed in our region, so good football program. So East Lawrence doing some positive things down there as well. And West now comes in at 0-1, and East Lawrence got a little momentum. East Lawrence favored by 4. What do you think there, Jay?
I think West bounces back, I think.
You think West Limestone bounces back?
Yeah, I think so.
And you think they win or just keep it within 4?
They'll keep it within 4.
I hate to go against any Limestone County team, especially if they're playing a team not in Limestone County, Jay.
Yeah.
But knowing that Lawrence County has had some pretty good football teams in recent years, and East Lawrence has just beat them 14-6. I'm going to go with East Lawrence to cover the 4 points and win the football game, as bad as I hate to. Hopefully, I'm eating crow next week, and I will gladly say on the show I did not have a lot of faith that the Wildcats would keep it close.
Well, my figures is if East Lawrence coming off a big win, they'll have a
big
high
head
and then fall down.
Yeah, you think they're going to be thinking they're better than they are and get punched in the mouth.
And I think Coach Davis have his kids ready after that loss. So.
That's true too. Those are always you like to see. Well, you don't ever want to lose, but if you're going to lose, if you lose early, you have time to correct, and those are teachable moments. And hey, we've got to play at this level all the time, and you can never, count anybody out. And I heard Brick, I think, in one of those interviews, and Coach Snyder talks about that a lot too, and Cody Gross about complacency.
Yeah.
And, when you win a big game, well, guys, guess what? We got another one next week.
Yeah.
Hey, or even if you lose, hey, guys, we can't stay down here. We've got to get back up here so we can compete at a high level over and over again.
And West can't take East Lawrence lightly and look past them because, they got West Morgan after East Lawrence.
Yeah.
Had West Morgan, so.
Yeah.
That's
one
at
right.
a time, guys.
Again,
one at a time.
Yeah, that's a West Limestone, the only team that we cover that is starting region play this week, and hopefully they will get the win. And I'll be eating crow, and I'll be talking about how good the Wildcats are.
And their quarterback's last name is Donahue.
Donahue.
Yes.
Got it.
Good kid. I mean, he's
born and raised
at West. And other night he had a decent game. Mm-hmm. He overthrew some kids, but he was pretty accurate.
Yeah, well, good deal.
So
awesome, good deal. All right, Jay. I think Lindsay Lane. We don't cover them as much in season because they're still playing middle school and JV ball. We mentioned they'll start varsity next year. We're recording this on Monday of this week, and Lindsay Lane has West Limestone coming to Lindsay Lane tonight to play middle school and JV football. If anybody listens and a fan of either one of those teams, just comment down in the comments. Tell us how those games went, middle school and JV games at Lindsay Lane. And if we don't, maybe we can cover those next week.
Now, they played a middle school game at Catholic other night. Was that just a scrimmage or?
I think so. I think it was just kind of a jamboree for them. Limestone County's jamboree, middle school jamboree, was Saturday, and that was over at East Drive.
Mm-hmm.
And so all of the county teams were over there, playing a half a piece, I guess, and then play another half, and then they take it to the house. And so obviously Lindsay Lane, private school, they had to kind of find somebody to do those with, so they went over and played JP2, and I think they got a win.
Yeah.
I think they may have played a whole game, but it was just a jamboree, not a legit on their schedule middle school game.
So me and my son gonna try to get over there tonight because most of the middle school kids are in his class. So we're gonna try to go over and support Coach Nave and Coach Brandon Moran and those guys over there, and hoping they can get a win tonight.
Yeah, it'll be awesome. Looking forward to it. And again, if we don't get any scores or updates on that, we'll talk about it a little bit next week. Guys, hey, if you got any cool stories, I know last week we shared one about Mike Nave, and a lot of people were reaching out talking about, man, that's a really, really good story.
And it was talked about Friday night in the press box as well. So
yeah, if anybody's got some cool stories from some of those old timers, those names that we know very well in Limestone County, please reach out to us. We'd love to interview some folks.
Yeah.
And hey, I told somebody I like to just sit around with a bunch of those old guys, those old coaches and stuff, and say, hey, y'all just talk. I'm just going to record it and listen.
Do like that Alabama video they did. Eli Go interviewed all the players.
Interviewed
him, coach.
Be great. And some of these new guys would probably learn some tricks that they thought, man, I ain't never thought of that. So if I get thrown out of the game, I could just get a county officer to go stand by my coaches, and I could just use this other guy's radio. That's a pretty good idea. Pretty good idea. Well, hopefully, Jay, we'll be talking about all these wins that all the Limestone County teams get this week. Obviously, Clements and Ardmore are the only two facing other Limestone County opponents, but we wish all of these teams good luck. Hopefully, no injuries. Everybody's acting right. All of us parents in the stands are acting right and not causing a ruckus. All that good stuff. But looking forward to more fantastic Limestone County football on Friday night, JV.
Me
got anything?
Just tailgate talk again this Saturday. we'll talk to all our local coaches, and we have a special interview. We have a guy, AP Stedham. He covers SEC football, and y'all just tune in 10 to 12 every Saturday morning on WKAC and the PAS Plus app.
Yeah, if you do not have the PAS Plus, that's Play Action Sports app. They are on there from time to. Did they air any game this past Friday night?
No, they didn't. Tim was wasn't feeling well. Plus, James Clemens was on the road. So, But usually when James Clemens plays, Tim does their game. So, but when they're away or whatever, he usually tries to do a county game. So,
and that live tailgate talk show is on WKAC and that app on Saturday mornings.
Yes, sir. 10 to 12. That's 1080 WKAC AM.
All right. Look forward to it, JV. Have a fantastic week, guys. Thanks for listening. Go Limestone County and Athens City and private. Anybody playing football in Limestone County, wear them out.
Like and share, y'all.
God bless.